members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, friends and family members, and most of all, graduating students of the University of Florida Class of 2018, good afternoon, welcome, congratulations. So before we begin, I want to say, as I did at yesterday's graduations, that we are so proud of the nearly 10,000 students who are UF Spring 2018 graduates. Yesterday, I also want you all to know that we inappropriately physically rushed a number of students across the stage in one of our commencements. And I want to personally apologize for us doing that on behalf of myself and also the University of Florida. I want our students to know, I want you all, our students, to know that we've changed that practice, and we also want each one of you to know that we celebrate you, your graduation, and your accomplishments. Congratulations, you all. Graduates, I am so happy that you have completed your exams, papers, and projects, and that together this year, we all survived, wait for it, Tide Pods and the stiff arm dance. Your graduation from the University of Florida is an incredible achievement. It is one that will remain with you forever and one that no one can ever take away. Today, you graduate from one of the nation's great and greatest universities. Now, I love two things about commencement ceremonies. First, this is the day that we're celebrating the achievements of you, our students, and today we're celebrating every one of you. Second, I've come to love the pomp, the pageantry, and the regalia of commencement and how it represents a community of scholars. Just look at what all of you are wearing and what all of we are wearing up here. For my regalia, I get to wear this orange and blue robe and this gold chain, which is officially known as the chain of office, but I call it the President's bling. And it's etched with the names of all of the previous UF presidents, and the medallion actually includes a 1.3 carat diamond. And the diamond was manufactured right here in collaboration with our Materials Science and Engineering Department. University of Florida researchers engraved the diamond with tiny 1-micron photographs of the previous 11 presidents using a focused ion beam. And the photographs are so small that you can only see it with an electron microscope. Now someday, when they etch my tiny photograph on the diamond, I'm going to insist that I'm holding a wiener dog or that it's a photo of me as a selfie. My colleagues' regalia up here on the platform represents their alma maters, particularly where they obtain their graduate degrees. And when you cross the stage, you'll shake the hand of your college dean. Now I'm going to show you some examples of their regalia. Would the Associate Dean of the College of Design, Construction, and Planning, Abdul Chini, please stand. Now, Dean Cheney's regalia represents his alma mater, which is the University of Maryland at College Park, and he earned his doctorate in structural engineering. Thank you, Dean Cheney. Would the Dean of the College of Journalism, Diane McFarland, please stand? Now, Dean McFarland earned her bachelor's degree in journalism from the nation's very best College of Journalism and Communications, University of Florida. And the color of her hood, which she describes as burgundy, signifies a journalism degree. Now she says that burgundy clashes with orange and blue, and it might even seem more suitable for a certain university a little northwest of us in Tallahassee. But Dean McFarland is hugely proud to wear her hood and to represent journalism. Thank you, Dean McFarland. Now finally, would the Dean of the College of Health and Human Performance, Mike Reed, please stand. The 3 bars on Dean Reed's sleeves and the blue trim on his robe signify his PhD degree, which is in physiology. His orange and blue hood reflects his alma mater, the University of Texas Southwestern Medical School. And he's also wearing a medallion from the University of Kentucky, where he was a professor and a department chair before coming to UF. Each of his sons wore that very same medallion when they also graduated from the University of Kentucky. Thank you, Dean Reed. Now, graduates, along with your tassels that represent each of your disciplines, many of you are wearing personally customized mortarboards. And some of you shared photos of your decorated mortarboards on social media, and there are just some that are just great. Take a look. Now, I've decided for the first time in the history of university commencements that the president should also decorate his mortarboard. Congratulations. In researching the tradition of commencements in our regalia, I discovered Stephen Wolgast. He's a journalism professor at Kansas State University, and he actually studies the history of academic dress. Mr. Wolgast edits the Transactions of the Burgon Society, which was founded to promote the study of academical dress. Now, yes, you heard me correctly. I said academical, and graduates, you certainly look academical this afternoon. We spoke by phone with Professor Wolgast at his office, Kansas State in Manhattan, Kansas, and he explained to us that our robes trace their origins all the way back to the common clothing of medieval Europe and the earliest universities in the 1100s. Those universities were all connected with religious orders, so scholars wore simple robes to indicate their humility. Professor Wolgast said that in the United States, the first references to academic robes occurred in the 18th century, before the American Revolution. And at Columbia University in New York City, the 5th oldest U.S. university, students were required to wear robes all the time, like uniforms. Mr. Wolgast said that it was done to discourage students from misbehavior, such as visiting a seedy neighborhood nearby. I wonder what it would be like here at UF if we had such a policy. Midtown would never be the same again. The tradition of robes actually faded between the Revolution and the Civil War, but it returned for commencement ceremonies as universities transitioned from being elitist private universities to public institutions in the latter half of the 19th century, including here at UF. This renaissance was aided by a single enterprising graduate of Williams College named Gardner Cottrell Leonard. Gardner either didn't get to wear a robe or maybe didn't like the robe he wore at his Williams commencement in 1887, so he subsequently visited England to study their regalia, and he began writing articles and speaking about it all across the United States. We owe the various colors for the disciplines in our tassels and in our hoods entirely to Gardner's creativity. He chose green for medicine, for example, because it reminded him of the color of herbs used in healing. Many of Gardner's ideas were codified in the 1896 Intercollegiate Code of Academic Costume, and it's the basis actually for commencements and regalia to this very day. Now, I love how this commencement ceremony actually celebrates your individual achievements. Indeed, we're going to recognize your personal accomplishments in a few minutes when each of your names is read aloud and as you cross the stage. Yet this ceremony also identifies all of us as an academical community of scholars, bonded across centuries, and in this, we actually join other scholars from around the globe while affirming that we are also part of our own unique University of Florida community. As students, you have grown tremendously from being a part of this community and all the many smaller communities within it. You've learned how to work together in micro-communities we call teams. You've nurtured personal passions with like-minded students and groups and campus organizations. And you felt the power of becoming one with thousands of others in the stadium or right here in the O-Dome in the community of fans. Being part of a community can sometimes be difficult, as you may have discovered when you struggled with fellow students who didn't agree with you or you found hard to work with or who had different visions. But communities can also have an enormous impact, greater than the simple achievements of the individuals and the individuals within that community. The power of a community can be profound, indeed transformational, particularly when people with different talents and different life experiences work effectively together. Let me give you two simple examples. Every day, more than 10,000 people start fundraising campaigns through GoFundMe. And more than $5 billion has been raised through that community of philanthropy. In the world of science, citizens right now, as we speak around the globe, are crowdsourcing scientific progress that no single individual scientist could accomplish on their own. Here at UF, even I took part in a crowdsourcing effort that was led by the Florida Museum of Natural History to catalog butterfly species online last month. And there's nothing more beautiful than an orange and blue butterfly. The power of a community can also be very personal. Just think about the person you are today compared to the person you were on the day you first arrived here on campus. The difference in you arises from two things. First, what you have learned and achieved on your own. And second, even more important, what you have learned about working and living in a community and what you have been able to achieve because of your UF community. Graduates, my request of you as you leave our university is that you will strive to build, to be a part of, and lead communities wherever you are headed. For you have only just begun to experience the power of community. Indeed, your potential for creating, being a part of, for leading and harnessing the power of communities is greater than any graduating class before you. Your communities can consist of just a handful of people or maybe thousands. Your communities may be broadly enabled with technology or they may be local and physical. I encourage you to embrace those communities, from your new coworkers and your new neighbors, and from your new urban centers to your urban and rural lands. With your UF degree, I know that you will achieve great things as individuals, but I also know you will achieve even more by being a member and a leader of your new communities. Through the power of your communities, the UF class of 2018 will make a difference in the grand challenges facing our world, including poverty, healthcare, shelter, food, and water for all of our planet's people. I also know that you will make a positive difference in your local communities where you're going to live and work, and in the lives of those that you're going to encounter throughout the remainder of your life. Now finally, although you are about to become a member of many new communities, I ask that you never leave your UF community. However much change that you experience beyond this campus in the coming years and decades, the University of Florida will always be here, and we will always be here for you. In researching commencement traditions, I learned that the phrase alma mater means nourishing mother. And graduates, we are a family. I can't be your nourishing mother, but I'll always be your Gator dad. Let me leave you with an old Irish blessing that expresses my personal affection for each one of you. May the sun shine gently on your face, and may the rain fall soft upon your fields, and may the wind be at your back, and may the road rise to meet you, and may the Lord hold you in the hollow of his hand until we meet again. Graduates, congratulations. You are forevermore a member of the University of Florida community. It is great to be a Florida Gator.